Either it's even if it was a coincidence or he came for that purpose, we have to take it in that faith. But he revived. He tried to standardize Hinduism. Lot of blind faithism was prevailing, particularly in rural areas. That's why some historians believe he tried to give the 6 concepts. He is also known as Shanmugha Matasthapanacharya. In one book I have read, the concept of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, Mother Goddess, Bhuneshwari, Ganesha and Kartikeya. He tried to tell, because villagers, any small thing, even there was some illness, they used to think it is the annoyance of some angel, so we have to worship, we have to kill some animal offering, or like this type of thing. He tried to stop them. These are all blind faith and not the truth actually. So instead of going into so many Devi Devata, just worship one. That's why Kartikeya is known as the Deva Senapati, commander-in-chief. Worship one. And Ganesha is the obstacle remover, Vigneshwara. And Goddess Mother. So like that he tried to revive and tried to teach those things on the Bhakti Marga side. And on one side he tried to teach the Advaita also. So that's what he tried. Perhaps if he had not come at that time, we could have lost a lot of all Upanishads and things like Janmashtami, Ramnavami, all this would have disappeared. That's what Kanchi Periya Paramacharya also has said this in one of the articles. He came and he saved. Still his mutts are going on, you see, Sringeri, Kanchi, Dwarka, Puri. Unconsciousness that follows the inaction of the heart and the mind, and vital breath is suspended, is the highest perfection. See here, the first half sentence is, the mind has to give up all its imaginations. So the mind has to become unconscious of its imaginations. Then it regains the consciousness. It's a form of heart also means here, heart also, feelings, emotions of the mind. They both need to become in action, stop its activities. Then the mind becomes quiet, and then vital breath is suspended, is the highest perfection. Vital breath is suspended here. I don't know why this suspended word has been used by the translator. So vital breath, you hold it so that it doesn't vibrate too much. Generally, Patanjali has said the irregular movement of the respiration can be disturbing for the mind. A steady, stabilizing breath can quieten the mind. So that is what is important as we keep discussing these things, and that is the highest perfection. That is when total stillness, samadhi is experienced. In that samadhi, you experience the truth of existence. We will see one, there is pleasure seeing phenomena which is common to all living beings. But this being felt spiritually amounts to holy pleasure, the sight of God in one's consciousness. So that's what the final meaning is. This is the thing. When the breath is totally stabilized, it is suspended, means we cannot take it as totally stopping the breath. Because if the breath is totally stopped, that means the body is dead, falls dead. Smoothly it has to be going, but not attracting your attention, amounting to that one. That's what the suspension. So your attention is suspended from there. So then it is totally still. Consciousness is still, precisely. That's what it has to be the meaning. So that is the highest perfection. Means when you achieve total stillness of your mind, regaining the form of consciousness, that is the perfection. That's what will take you to self-realization. Counting breath, I could call it as a preliminary round exercise to make the mind single-pointed. Instead of allowing it to go into millions of thoughts, to reduce and finish all those thoughts, you just pay attention to the counting of breath. So then a mind can stop there. It gives up all other thoughts and imaginations eventually, but it will be stuck there. It won't become totally purified and goes back to self. Like here also, you have to suspend your attention to the breath also. That's what that sentence meaning. So means you have to withdraw your attention from the breath also. Let the breath be slowly, quietly going like that. Then the mind is totally gets purified. So what remains is the self. As he has also spoken the same Adi Shankara also in Viveka Chudamani, means when in your consciousness means when the mind is totally purified, no more thoughts are there, no more visions, no imagination is there. When you come face to face, that consciousness, you become aware of that. And when that consciousness is not into any type of imagination, it should not be aware of the breath also. The breath has to go automatically, simply it's going on. But mentally you don't have to be aware. So that is, know that existence as the truth of existence. What Adi Shankara uses this thing in Viveka Chudamani. The same meaning is what that sentence tells actually. See, one thing is, like many teachers have symbolized the rising of Kundalini to the rising like moves like a serpent. So it would symbolize that thing. You worship Lord Shiva means if you achieve the mind's total cleansing and regaining the form of consciousness, so that lifts the body consciousness and adorns. Means, in other words, they both become one mass and gets detached from the brain, and the seeker feels as if he is here. So this also symbolizing 1,000 petals lotus. There is no lotus is there, but the teacher would have said, when the consciousness is here, it is ready and blossomed, purified, ready to go to Samadhi. It is blossomed just like 1,000 petals lotus blossoming. Like that, symbolizing only. And finally they have put it into the neck of Lord Shiva, means Shiva is when you achieve total thoughtlessness state of your mind, that is Shiva. Then that lifts the body consciousness and adorns it, means they both become one mass. That could be the significance here. Sometimes the energy movement keeps happening. Whenever the mind is better concentrating, it tries to lift the body consciousness. But as the mind runs away, it gets dropped also. When that is moving, that's when sometimes one is likely to feel that type of jerk, any such things. Keep yourself firmly to the back with a cushion so that you don't fall. If you are on the chair, try to see at least it has the handles like this. This type of chair is much better. Without anything, that's when your body is likely to fall down. But so that you can at least hold like this. Mostly the experience was peace. It was unmindful of the surroundings. who was behaving in which way, what was, whether being humiliated, whether being scolded or finding faults, anything, or anybody behaved in any way also, it didn't seriously set into the mind, as the mind was totally peaceful. That one experience only I can recollect exactly, that type of thing. Body used to be become warm, even in the winter's coldness also, even if I was just with a waist. So the body would sweat sometimes and it would become very warm. When Swamiji was in Dehradun, used to be for a couple of months. That time it was service. Only and when he used to go away from there, at that time during daytime, I used to meditate. Behind we had bushes and mango trees, under a mango tree, I used to go and meditate for several hours there, 6 to 7 hours like that. I didn't notice anything much except peace. I used to remain quiet. Sometimes many people used to wonder also. He doesn't react and doesn't say anything. It's like a dumb person. Usually such dumb persons are considered stupids. They don't react to the world. So that type of used to be quietness and just go on doing work. That's what it is. In fact, the general whom we talk about, he was a devotee of Swamiji. Sometimes he used to tell, you need to be a bit alert and do some noises, otherwise people will take you granted. Everybody will sit you on your head. You must show that you are alert, you will react to certain things. So that type of things. Service is like a karma yoga. Means when you do the service without the idea of doership or without expecting any fruits, because the boss has told you and you do it, you are unmindful of the results. That type of thing. Here the boss is the Lord. A guru is like a Lord for us. He wants me to do, because not that, as Clifford was asking, he never asked me to meditate, but he asked me to look after a mentally challenged boy, look after children of the royal people who are studying in the school, become their local guardian. So looking after them means bring them on Sundays outing, cook for them, play with them, and then drop them to school. Sometimes if they wanted to go to movies, I used to stand in the queue in a cinema theatre, buy the tickets for them and make them sit in the theatre, come back to ashram, then 2.5 hours later again go pick them up and drop, like all type of odd jobs. A couple of times I have heard some people asking, don't you think all your youth is getting simply wasted with odd jobs and you came for other purpose? I used to tell, I really don't know for what purpose I came. I just came for Swamiji. So whatever he has asked, just I am doing. My mind is quiet and it doesn't absorb that why I have to do like this. And in fact, one time at least I remember, Swamiji in the night was lying down and I was pressing his legs. Then he used to tell him, sometimes it might come to your mind that you have been given odd jobs. You might wonder why I have to do all these things. If you don't think like that, it can convert as a yoga for you. He said this one. So that stuck, that sat. That means I should not take anything as a serious. Simply, whether I was meditating, whether I was taking the boys to the cinema, so both exercise became the same. There was no difference. The mind was becoming quiet and quiet. But the same purpose is what you close your eyes and you sit down, you have to watch. So when you are working also, if you just watch that, if you just work and you are unmindful of the results and about the work also you are doing also, you don't regret or do any reaction doesn't occur. So that type of thing was happening. So that served a great sadhana for me, 20 years. That's why probably in the vision after Swamiji is passing away, he told ki 20 years of your selfless service has given you 7 years of fruits of the tapas. Means for 7 years if you had sat for tapas, the amount of mind that would have become quiet and gone in. So that has happened. So if you just do another 5 years, should be enough. So that's the vision came. That was how finally I did 5 years. Swamiji blessed from his yoga some people to go into a trance. Though trance is the nearest word one could use, but the original Sanskrit word is bhava samadhi, meaning you get into a single pointed devotion and your mind goes into stillness with that bhava, with that imagination of the divinity. Like for example, if Hanuman's bhajan is being sung, so one person who is emotional, his mind all became single-pointedly visualize Hanuman. So he might get to see a vision of Hanumanji. And if he is emotional, some people might see some action in his body, somewhat like that. Because Swamiji had to handle so many type of people, not everybody were educated to receive the technique of meditation or understand the knowledge and wisdom. Often in rural areas, if people are educated, not educated properly, many educated also, they would like to worship God only if God is powerful and can protect them. They will not be bothered about any knowledge or wisdom about the self, its existence or any such thing. They will not be interested. Even for a saint also, they will not be interested what he has to talk about the ultimate truth, what he has to teach like this. They will just come, do pranam, and we have to receive some grace, and we should be all right every time. No trouble should come. That's when I can understand that this is a real saint. More than that, they cannot think. So Swamiji thought to bring them to a devotional path properly to understand that there is a divinity and there is a higher consciousness or higher power exists. That humans, people should not think that they are independent, they can do anything they want. That's what he was arguing, talking. Nobody is independent, he was trying to tell. Many things and almost everything you have to do, whether you like it and do it, whether you don't like it, then also you have to do it. Like you have to eat food when you are hungry. If you don't eat, you will die. So you are forced to eat. Means as if somebody has commanded, some boss has told, now you go to the earth, without eating you will die. Even if you don't like, you will have to eat. I will see how you will not eat it. That type of everything you have to do. You feel sleepy, you like or you don't like, you would like to be awake, but you have to go to sleep. You will go fall asleep. So that type of few things he was trying to argue. But some people argued, how can that be? Whenever I want, I will simply get up and I will go away. Swamiji tried to tell when it comes to you inside, do you know the source of that coming? That you want to get up and go away. Some people, when they sit with saints, they don't want to get up and go away from the saint. They will be so attracted, inspired. But some people, after 2 minutes, they would like to get up and go away. They will become restless if the saint is trying to teach about God. It will be irritating for them. If it is not the worldly, materialistic thing, they cannot listen to such things. So that was the thing. Then Swamiji told, okay, you all do bhajans. And he went into dhyana, meditation. So some of them went into bhava samadhi, like they started dancing, everything. So after the bhajans were over, he used to apply vibhuti and they used to cool down, become normal. This was all in the 60s and 70s. Swamiji started touring. Wherever he went, this type of bhava samadhi happened. People got attracted to him. His glow of the tapas power in the body was so attractive. Anybody would simply fall in love type. Like madly people followed him everywhere. So people, many times they used to go genuine trance, means genuine bhava means a real emotional bhava they used to go. not they plan or acted. But by the time it was late 70s and early 80s, the trends changed. Some people came to the mission. This is my personal opinion, what I observed and watched things. Instead of going into simply, they all used to dance and nobody troubled each other. But trend changed. By trying to go into this, like this trance is a wrong word we tell, means you are possessed by. That's what the meaning of trance. But bhava samadhi is not that you are possessed by some other angel, some other god comes on you. You yourself go into that bhava. So you will be benefited if you go into a samadhi stillness. Three terminologies are there. Bhava udreka. Udreka is a violent way of going. Udriktata. Bhava unmattata. Unmattata is intoxication. In the name of God, you feel intoxicating. Bhava samadhi is the highest of these three. In the name of divine, you go introverted, you become totally quiet. These are all the preliminary round exercises for one to go into a tapas and become self-realized actually. So that was how. So then some people started deliberately acting. In one a big rich people's home, they used to do kirtan, and their own daughter used to go to trance and control everyone. If she didn't like Rayan, you are not a good person, you are a bad guy, you must go and sit there, you come and sit here. So like this type of discrimination, politically motivated drama, everything started happening. As long as there is no challenge, it went on. But one time, to that group, another businessman came. So business people are always very shrewd and cunning. They are not innocent people. So quickly he also learnt this. He thought, if I don't go, then I will also get slapped. He also went into trance, and if that lady said, you go and sit there, he used to rebellious. No, you should not go, you are a good guy. She is telling lie. I am the right God who has come like that. So then they both fought. She tried to slap him, he tried to cut hold of his hairs. So these type of things started happening. Swamiji was also a bit hurt, he was not happy with that. But he didn't want to insult or embarrass any people in public, so he tried to keep quiet. My mind was also totally different. I also didn't accept this type of thing, never. I never liked any God coming on any human being and telling. From young age I used to pray to God, God, if at all you want to come on a buffalo, I will believe you. Don't come on a human being. Human beings are the most unreliable creatures. That's what I used to think. You never know when they will tell a lie. Easily, very quickly they will tell, I saw God, I know what I was in my previous life. Everything they will tell, and it comes to the newspaper also. If you try to verify, it will all be simply story, that type of thing. So that's what now we come to question of Clifford. There was one boy in Dehradun, we used to do bhajan. He needed to work in the kitchen. To avoid going to the kitchen, he used to go to trance and do things. So then sometimes he used to deliberately fall on me once or twice. Then I was playing harmonium. So once he tried to tear my waist. I was like this because someone's heart I was just doing. So when he tore that one, instantly it occurred to me, I also need to go into a trance and teach this boy a lesson. Otherwise, every day he is going to tear off one waist, where will I bring that one? So, so I also threw the harmonium, just shouted. So I was physically more strong than that one, and cut hold of the thing. Swamiji was in meditation, he was sitting there, and there was another devotee. Politically he was, Are bhai, you will kill that boy, you will kill that boy, he will die if you do like that one. He was taking my name, he was telling. So that boy fainted. To avoid me pinching him, I caught hold of him and pinched like this strongly, and he fell down. Then I also went into meditation. Then afterwards, Swamiji was sitting. I brought Swamiji's dinner. Then that political person again said, Aaj Dikshitji went to such trance ferociously. We thought he was going to kill that boy. Swamiji said, that boy went into trance. He touched Sinu And Sinu went into trance, that's all. Finished, the topic was over. So it was like diamond getting the diamond, you had to use the thorn to take out the thorn. So this type of things has happened in my life. I have mentioned in Pure Grace also, I think. And there was a village across the river. The family used to come to our Dehradun Ashram. So their daughter also used to go to trance. So once we had been to Rishikesh, we were on the banks of Ganga river. It was a full moon day. Swamiji was sitting at a distance, and General was a brigadier then, he was also there. That girl was throwing sand when others wanted to sing, insisting that her sisters only should sing. But she was claiming that she was goddess Surkanda, coming from a long distance on the time. But then she would throw sand to other people if they went to sing. So this was what happening. Swamiji was also feeling irritated. I was in the crowd moving around, and she started coming towards Swamiji. She was trying to close the eyes almost closer so that nobody would see her, and she would throw the sand. She lost direction probably, either knowingly or unknowingly, started coming towards Swamiji. Then I felt alarmed and I came to Swamiji. By then Swamiji was quite annoyed. Swamiji signaled me, "Hey, go on, get hold of her." So again I shouted, I knew, and went and caught hold and brought her me. That girl's mother was shouting, "Swamiji, my daughter will die, my daughter will die." So Swamiji told, "Hey, when she was throwing sand, she was Surkanda. Now my boy is controlling her, she has become your daughter suddenly. We are controlling Goddess Surkanda, sit down quietly." So that was what I have written. So these type of political situations also came, people trying to misuse, misinterpret. So instead of going on to the spiritual path, actually after the Bhava Samadhi, they were to be encouraged that to find the true of spiritual truth, you have to meditate and go to that one. But many of them simply thought to attract attention. In places like Bangalore and other places, if anybody went to trance, a small garland would be put on them, somebody would do a arati with a camphor also. Innocent people of the rural areas, they would do. So they thought this is the right thing, I can attract attention, I become a special deity now. So they went on doing like this one. Sometimes they used to be violent, disturbing, throwing here, trying to beat. They had to be controlled during Swamiji's time. So all these things happened. That's why I never liked it from day one in Dehradun. I tried to stop everyone. After Swamiji's passing away, we totally stopped. So that trouble is stopped. We never encouraged anything. I just do my business of teaching meditation, spiritual truths. That's why I avoid talking about this trance at all, because he raised, I just wanted to give a background why Swamiji wanted. To be precise, it's like giving lollipop to the child to make it to go to school. But these people, instead of going to school, they stuck to lollipops only all the time. So that is the thing. But finally sadhana must happen. One has to meditate, either through bhakti, either through dhyana. They should become quiet, mind should go introverted, otherwise they will never achieve. After my tapas, when I went to Adivarapet also, one lady came and told, "For the last 40 years I am going to trance, but I don't find any result, I don't find any peace." I told her, "You are wasting time, you meditate now, enough of this trance." And one old man came in Bangalore, he told, "Earlier days when I was young, I used to jump and dance. Now I cannot jump, I have developed arthritis, Swamiji, I don't know what to do." You don't know what to do, you never meditated, you wasted your time. So these things have never paid any real results. It was waste of time. So many educated people became averse to this and went away also from the mission. So these two things cannot go together. This is what I have studied and observed. Like all of you are there, you are all good and happy to meditate. If in the midst of meditation, if somebody comes and keeps troubling and falling on Hanuman, falling on you, throwing this, you will all become averse and you would like to go out of here. You won't like to sit. And what is this nonsense that's happening, right? Yeah, the priests told when they did a meeting that what Ramakrishna is, it is a Mahabhava. It's a supreme bhava of the divine's bhava. All the time he used to be in that consciousness. Like Mirabai used to be in Krishna consciousness. That's different. See, finally it's an individual's choice. Generally people are such teachers, when they practice, they would like to advocate that thing. If I am eating idli, I would like to advocate that you also eat idli. If I would like to drink wine and whiskey, I would advocate you, come on yaar, come have some whiskey and you must enjoy this one. This is human nature, whatever it is. Then what you want, that's what the choice yours. You can remain, if you like, in that consciousness finally. If you really go into that consciousness, in my opinion, it will take you to the height of transcending everything. Otherwise, you are simply into an imagination or mental projection. The manifestation level has to happen. Technologically, the three stages that I talk, your mind has the ability to be creative. That is what is known as, is able to imagine. That is to be considered an amazing quality, not an ordinary thing. When we use the word imagination, it appears to be, oh, that's all, imagination. No, not simply, that's not. Vasistha talks based on this imagination technology, only the entire creation has happened. Appearance of the universe has happened. That's what they talk, like the appearance of the dream happened. It's all the imagination only, but yet it appears so real. So when this mind goes to a mental projection level, means you fall in love with Krishna, you try to remember Krishna. In 24 hours, how much you can remember Krishna, it depends on that. Not that simply one day you go and do an arati with a camphor and then you forget and keep drinking alcohol. That is not the Krishna consciousness. At all times you should not be able to forget Krishna, wherever you are, whatever you are doing. That is the highest way of devotional path. That automatically will take you to mental projection level and manifestation level, and it will make you to transcend also. Some of the great souls, 300, 400 years ago, the Bhakti movement that has happened, Surdas, Mirabai, Tulsidas, so many saints of the southern part of India also has happened. They were all in the Bhakti Marga of that supreme consciousness. And by the end of time, definitely they transcended everything and merged with the divinity. So, this is what I can give my opinion by looking into their life and the teachings or their behaviors, in what way they had. For them, apart from their own deity, nothing else was important, nothing else was significant at all. So one has to go to that level. So sometimes what these people insist, so they will become narrow-minded. They have argued with me also. You should come and become a devotee of our Krishna. So what do you mean of your Krishna? Where is your Krishna? He is everywhere. If he is everywhere, the name that I am taking of Shiva also must be your Krishna only, right? You are taking it in the name of Krishna, I am taking it in the name of Shiva. So we both are not different, we both are same. He was puzzled for a while, but he didn't agree. No, not taking Shiva is not the thing. You must take that in the name of Krishna only. So you are limiting Krishna to only to that Krishna. If he is limited to Krishna, he cannot be Krishna, I said. This mathematics he couldn't understand. He simply went away afterwards. Like that. So, if the non-duality, if God is everywhere, in everything, as everything, so how can there be a difference between Shiva and Krishna? You cannot accept only Krishna and reject Shiva. That means you are rejecting God's existence in that name. Get it? If you are interested in total self-realization and go through the meditation path, so the commentaries that I have written, Viveka Chudamani, Ashtavakra Samhita, they are the best books. Just blunt and slapping way they have told in those days, those great teachers. And Yoga Vasistha, of course, these are the best books, which can give you an insight of what you are supposed to achieve, what the truth is also. That's a little bit too much of a dose to understand for Westerners. These are simple. When I have written commentary means it has the present day terminologies, they can easily make out what the book is trying to tell. So that's why I recommended that one. Otherwise, if they try to go to the Sanskrit terminology, it will simply, you will try to memorize, but nothing occurs to the mind what they are trying to tell. Brahman, omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipresent, Brahman, these things you go on reading, it doesn't comes to the mind what it is it that they are trying to tell. So that's what. Like we were talking of the Krishna consciousness, Krishna or Shiva, if they argue only Krishna, they measure the space, this is all the space is in between my both hands. I insist this is space, you accept this as the space. How can that be? Space is everywhere. So that type of thing, difficult to understand through book. Read these books and through that they have to meditate also. Yeah. Actually, if you have to take Krishna's name, your mind has to be fully there. Then only you will be benefited. That again is the most difficult. Otherwise, it would have been so easy for the people of the world to become realized. So bhakti also is not easy as people are thinking. Many times we Indians misunderstand bhakti means if we simply take Krishna, 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 Krishna and keep drinking the wine, if the Krishna will give us, it doesn't happen like that. You have to be like that. So if you become realized, then they won't be narrow-minded. Whatever is possible for you, you do that one. That's what Swamiji, when he did meditation, he said, if I have done, you can also do it. All that is needed, you have to be determined. So, as the ages have passed, humans have become more and more weak. Now they want everything in a package. Yeah, this is a significant question. Probably what happened? Actually, when I met Swamiji and after 2-3 years I went, until then I didn't have any idea of doing tapas. When I went and reached Dehradun Ashram, Swamiji had placed an old lady there, a Mataji, that an young boy is coming, he doesn't know anything about the ashram. Until he learns everything, you stay here. She was from South India only. Then at that time, on the January of 1974, a young boy of 23-year-old had sat for tapas in Anantapur. She used to talk about that thing. So he has sat for tapas, now it's going to be 1 year very soon, he will be a yogi, he will become a self-realized, then he will serve Swamiji, all these things. When I used to sit down, went on hearing that story, so that started charging in my mind, revolving. So then I used to pray, it might be a good idea to do tapas also. So then we can do tapas, become a yogi, and then serve my guru, then spread his message everywhere. That type of resolution started coming. Probably this triggered and switched on to eventually to do that small amount of tapas. As a formality it became needed, just to tell the world. Because before that, whatever I was achieving and doing, the world did not notice. World noticed only when a beard and a matted hair came. That's what it is. Until then they had not. So ask this question to Ambaji tells that before also Babaji was like that. He just needed to take one step, that was all. to transform so that he could become a teacher. That was what it is. So probably that made me to go for tapas also. And it will be interesting. After that, what happened? 2-3 years. In 77, I happened to see him also. I got a chance to go to Anantapur with Swamiji once, and he was still there. After that, his mind started getting totally disturbed. When Swamiji was in Dehradun, he used to write letters that he wants to go and get married, and devatas are all disturbing him. They are threatening him, you must get married. How come you cannot remain in celibacy like this is not possible. He used to write all in the language, lot of private things he used to write. So I read this to Swamiji. And Swamiji was slightly worried that he is becoming disturbed. But it should be all right, let us see. All he needs is that he should become determined. But when the beginning of 1978, 4th year, he started getting up, running away. And the manager who was looking after Dehradun Ashram, Anantapur Ashram, so if anybody had offered money, so if he had come to collect it, then this Swamiji used to catch hold of him and tell, this money is mine, you leave it here. And Swamiji used to advise, you just do tapas, why do you bother about this thing? They will take care of things. So then he used to threaten that manager, if you come again into my room to take the money, I will turn you into a goat. So he felt very scared. He telephoned to Swamiji, I was in Bangalore. Swamiji, he is telling me he will turn me into a goat. Swamiji said, hey, nobody can turn you into a goat, nothing will happen. He is simply threatening. That is all, don't worry, you just do your duty. You are a manager, you just do your duty. Tell that Swamiji has told you like that. So these things were happening, he was disturbed. So by then his father was also disturbing. He wanted his son to go back. He is my only son, I want him to come back and go do the business, he has to come. Then his father also passed away. Then he went to the crematorium and put fire to his father's body. But Swamiji was unhappy. During tapas, he shouldn't have got up. He doesn't know this thing. He should have simply blessed by asking them to bring the body if necessary. But he shouldn't have. Then he started getting up and running away. The people used to bring him back and making. One Swamiji also visited. One Swamiji sent me and another boy from Bangalore to go and advise him, this is a matter of self-respect. You see, you will become a yogi. After 5 years, the world will honor you so much. You will be able to carry on Swamiji's mission so well. So we all spoke to him, but he didn't agree. He wanted to go out. Then finally in 78, later part of 78, so Swamiji allowed him. So Swamiji tried to bring him to Bangalore also, so that he could continue, but he was adamant and he used to run away. Then finally Swamiji allowed him to go away. So he got married and he lived. And I saw him after 78 in 1994, when my guru had dropped the physical body. He recognized me, he had become black and all such things. He came to me. He appreciated me at that time. You could remain in celibacy like a brahmachari, he said, but I could not do that one. I lost the chance to become a yogi. Maybe I will have to come back again in some other life and do these things. So like that he was talking. I just smiled. I didn't know what to say to him, because Swamiji had passed away, his body was there. That was the last time I saw him. So like this, tapas is not an easy thing. Probably he was not ready to go to tapas. What I heard was, just before going to tapas, he used to go to trance lot of times. And he used to demand, Swamiji, you give me mine, you give me mine. What mine? Well, he didn't tell. Swamiji also used to keep quiet. Then on the January of 1974, some devotees were there when he went to trance. They asked, do you want to do tapas? If you want to do tapas, go and sit down. Probably they all encouraged and forced. And then he went and sat. So the matter spread like a wildfire that he has been made to sit for tapas, he has gone for tapas. Everybody spread that one. But probably mentally he was not yet ready for that. His determination was not there. So then after 3-4 years he went away. When this happened, a little bit my mind also, slight disturbance was there in 1978. On my birthday, 20th September, I was in Bangalore. Early morning, the one day before, a young girl used to come. she had become fond of me. Bhaiya, bhaiya, she used to be sitting with me. When she came to know that it was my birthday, she brought a Cadbury's chocolate and gave it to me as a gift. Next day, early morning, 3:30, I took milk to Swamiji's room in Bangalore and gave it to him. Then I gave this chocolate also. Swamiji, that young girl, gave me as a gift for my birthday. So Swamiji bit half of it and gave me another half to eat. Then I ate the chocolate. Then I gave a piece of vibhuti to Swamiji's hand. You please bless me. Swamiji said, what do you need this vibhuti? I said, a bit scared. I said, I want to do tapas. Hey, do you think this vibhuti will make you to sit for tapas, idiot? Swamiji perhaps was testing my faith. I told him, I have faith, you bless and give me. Look, if you do tapas now, you will become arrogant and egoistic. You will go away from me. It's up to you. What you may get self-realization, you may not get. So then I said, no, I want to be with Swamiji. I don't need tapas, no need, it's okay. I am like this ordinary only, all right. I'm happy to keep dusting your room and that is fine for me. Don't worry, when the time is ripe, at that time, even if you don't want, you will go into tapas, that time will come. So 78, 16 years later in 1994, finally that time came and the vision came and I was made. So by then I was ready. Because Swamiji has passed away physically, there was nothing else for me to attract. So easily I went to tapas. And that 5 years was very easy, simple for me. Because already I was used to do the long meditation, mind was quiet, for everything I was ready, nothing else attracted me actually. So that was how that tapas happened finally. And here I am in front of you all. You see, this destiny is a very peculiar thing. Though the world may discuss, once it has happened, then only we have to recognize it, perhaps that was the destiny. Before that, if we try to discuss destiny, it can be confusing. You all might ask, why is that it is not in our destiny to do tapas? How come that you have been discriminated? You will again raise this topic. God discriminated, that He made you to sit for tapas. He did not make Clifford to sit for tapas. He didn't give me that destiny, you will ask. So this is an inexplicable thing. It's a matter of time. A consciousness soul has come out. But every soul definitely will go back to the self. Like Purandaradasa saying, he will protect and take back every soul. Don't get panicked. Have peace. Like that he sings in his songs. That is the thing. It's a matter of time. And another thing, as we talk of destiny, destiny is working for everyone. That opportunity comes for everyone in front of you. Now, all of you are fortunately destined to sit with a yogi and listen to him. So if it clicks, then you can become self-realized, you can go to tapas also. But if you are not yet ready, it will take time. So that is how destiny works. So for me, perhaps I was ready. Though quietly I was preparing, I never showed anything. Nobody could make out. I was just washing utensils in the ashram. That's why one royal lady commented at the 5th year of my tapas when she came, all those people about whom the nadi has been written as great saints they were in their previous life, they are all getting beaten up and alcoholics. And nobody had told anything about Sinu Baba, and Sinu Baba has become a yogi. See the wonder, she said. Because my horoscope was never shown to any nadi person. There is a nadi person. This is another superstitious thing unnecessarily. Listening to our previous glories, and we just try to live in that hallucination. We don't want to do anything in the present. So doing karma, effort is important. You all put effort, try to understand the technique, then your destiny will blossom. It can be different experiences depending on their attitudes, acquired habits. To some, not necessary there should be any vision of God or any such thing at all. No need. To some it may come. So depending on the resolutions, mental attitude, the experiences on the path may vary from person to person. But when they go to Samadhi, the final goal is the same. They will transcend everything and then go to that goal. Yeah, it's tapas. He wanted to show to this world and wanted to see that all religions are equal, what people are talking. So it occurred to him and he did. Collectively, he did all the tapas. Finally. Whereas Ramana Maharshi simply, he did and he just spoke of who am I, nothing else. That's I have written in his master's grace. It's all there, such visions came and guidance came, certain things all happened. But finally I have tried to help, tell, everything is finally to be considered as a hallucination or an egoistic thing. Final merger and the quietening is the real experience. When you meditate, when your mind becomes purified, you will gain the ability to consider about others, consideration to others. So you will feel that one. So that happens always. One opinion, like you're talking about Mother Teresa was a saint. Definitely she did wonderful work. But not necessary that everybody in that missionaries of charities or anybody should be of that high level. Some stories we get that children are abused also, these things all happens. So if one does sadhana, she was of a exalted, purified state of mind probably. That's why she could do such great charitable work. So if one meditates and the mind becomes purified, you can do a better work in a more matured way. Even as an individual also, you will be more considerate to others. It is possible. If all humanity works like that one, so such abuse will never happen to anybody at all. All conflicts can come to an end.